And now we want to bring you an Afghan interpreter who was near the explosion when it happened. He is joining us now from a safe location. We are not revealing his name. We're just going to refer to him by the name of Carl. But he is an Afghan civilian who was looking to be evacuated from Afghanistan. He was there when that explosion went off. Carl, first of all, thank you so much for risking your safety to speak with us. We really appreciate it. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks also for having me here.
So Carl, what did you see?
So today I was told that I had to go to that gate, and from there I had to go inside and get on a plane and get the hell out of here. So I went over there, and the guy, he was supposed to pick me up from the gate. He didn't show up, so he told me that I got to wait an hour. So over there was crowded, and there were so many people, and there was a canal also. And Marines, they were on the other side of the canal checking everybody's paperwork and stuff. So I left there. I came back to my vehicle and I started charging my system. I was going back to that spot. And when I got close, the explosion happened, and I just saw a lot of people got hurt and people that were laying on the ground. I saw a baby girl, and I went to her, and I picked her up, and I started taking her to the hospital. I put her in a vehicle, started driving. There was a lot of traffic there, so I had to get out and pick her up again. I took her to the hospital, but she died on my hand, so that's heartbreaking. And what is going on right now, it's heartbreaking. This whole country fall apart.
The child that you tried to bring to the hospital, you said that she died on the way to the hospital?
Yeah, she died on my hands. Yep, she died.
I'm so sorry, Carl. That is absolutely heartbreaking.
I tried. I did my best to help her. But she died. So
that is just
her. She was 5 years old, and I did my best.
And was she attempting to get into the airport so that she could be evacuated? You may not know the answer to that, but I'm guessing anybody who was there was hoping for the opportunity to be evacuated, as you were.
Yes. So, yeah, same thing.
How big was the explosion, Carl?
The first explosion was pretty bad because I have worked with the youth armed forces. I have worked as an interpreter translator for the United States Marine Corps and Helmand Province. I have been around a lot of explosions. But that explosion was pretty bad because I saw a lot of people that they were laying on the ground. I saw a lot. But I went for that baby girl. So that's not going to she died. But she died anyway, so God bless her.
And when you arrived and when you got to the airport and you got near the Abbey Gate, could you see any American soldiers, Marines, any American military personnel beyond the gates, like in other words, outside of the airport in the streets, or was, as far as you could tell, any military personnel was still inside the airport?
This explosion happened not in the Abbey Gate. It happened right behind the Abbey Gate. So right behind the Abbey Gate, there's a gate, right? But there's a canal that you have to cross over. So the Marines, they were on the other side of the canal, and people, they were inside the canal trying to string the paperwork so they can get out. But, yeah, basically, they were outside of the airport. So they made a lady, they made an area for themselves so they can check in somebody's passport and take him in. But the baddest part was that when they were checking somebody's paperwork, right, nobody searched anybody.
Carl, just describe for our audience, you just mentioned how you've been a key member, a key part of our ongoing efforts in Afghanistan as an interpreter to our troops and allied partners on the ground there. And so what is your situation right now? Where is your family, and what are you hoping will happen for you in the hours and days ahead?
I have a lot of American friends that they're trying to help me to get out of here.
I think Carl, are you still there? Okay, I think we lost Carl. He was joining us via phone in Afghanistan, and you can just hear the heartbreaking story that he had to share with us, that he witnessed that explosion right near the Abbey Gate at the airport in Afghanistan, in Kabul, that he saw a young child who he then attempted to take to the hospital in his vehicle. She sadly died in his arms, and Carl is representative of the number of Afghan nationals who have helped the United States and her partner allies in this ongoing war against a terrorist threat, against the Taliban, against all those who would seek to do harm to the U.S. and her allies. And he is trying to get out. And the reason he's trying to get out is because of what we just have been reporting all morning long here, this terrorist threat, this explosion that happened outside of the gates of that airport, where people are just trying to get out of a country to be able to live their lives and to not be killed or tortured or imprisoned by the Taliban. And Carl is just one of many people who are looking for a better life. And the President of the United States has said it is his responsibility to get Americans and the folks who have helped us throughout the course of these last 20 years out of Afghanistan. The deadline for that is still August 31st.